The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by Nonprofit Connect. Nonprofit Connect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitconnect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cynder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is David Rojas, and David is the Director of Music Programs at the Turner Foundation. Welcome, David.
Thank you for having me, Cynder.
Oh gosh, you have something wonderful going, and I know it's really in the startup phase, but we want to hear all about it. In fact, isn't it called Music and Imagination?
Yes, Turner Foundation Music and Imagination Program, also known as TFMI. Turner Foundation, we've been around since 1958. We're a multifaceted organization. We provide resources to senior citizens, low-income families. We have a scholarship program and a foster program where we have youth coming from coming out of the foster system into this program that allows them to thrive as adults. But my favorite program is the Music Imagination Program, and so that allows me to just kind of facilitate meaningful experiences for young people through music. And we've been around for about 2 years. I've been their director for 2 years and 5 months. And right now, our mission is to essentially provide intellectual engagement and growth for young people through music, and we provide that through music studios, high quality music gear, music production programs, and qualified passionate instructors that allow them to grow intellectually, emotionally as individuals.
So do you actually teach them how to play instruments, or just cultivate that interest in music, or how do you do that? We have 7 core programs. We have a music exploration program where we acquaint young people to the basic elements of music. So it's pitch, dynamics, timbre, improvisation, singing, and that's kind of like the, again, entry level, kind of getting introduced to music. And then we have private music instruction, which is more of a structured kind of based learning, musicianship and theory books. Those students are required to be on our performance arts program, which is the Youth of Blues and Jazz Band, so that they get to learn some blues and jazz charts and learn how to work together as a team to create that music. We have music excursions, just learning in an authentic setting, so going to a concert or going to a workshop or something along those lines. Oh, so teaching them how to appreciate and enjoy a concert, what to look for, listen for?
Yeah, what to listen for, see kind of how the musicians interact on stage. Just kind of building up those communication skills, and also just kind of dynamics, the whole kind of approach of being able to effectively make music together as a team. And I think, it's their opportunity to interpret that and reflect on that experience.
Wow, I'm trying to imagine what that would look like. How many kids do you work with at a time?
So the whole group is about 40 kids.
Uh-huh.
So depending if it's an individual one-on-one lesson, it'd just be one student, or if it's a group kind of workshop-based approach, which is like music exploration, that'd be about 10 kids coming together learning about, again, the basic elements of music. And then we have our Youth Blues and Jazz Band that's usually about between 4 to 6 kids in those bands. So depending on the actual offering, it kind of varies in the group of kids that we're serving at that moment.
So do the kids tend to have, some type of music or area of music that they really want to pursue, or do they just show up and say, yeah, I like music, I want to learn about it?
I think so. The music exploration course allows those kids to kind of see, how to effectively combine those elements to create music. And I think through that experience, what happens is they come to us
and say, hey, I really was fascinated by learning piano. Do you think I can take lessons? It's like, okay, yeah, let's talk to your parents and let's figure out, a schedule that you can commit to and kind of start that journey into, becoming a musician. And if they can also, if they already are playing music, they can also ask to be part of our private instruction program as well.
Okay, all right. So a lot of the kids that you work with have some kind of a music background or interest in music on some level?
On some level, it's actually, the program runs out of a communal learning center, so we offer different enrichment programs. We have tutors there for English and math. Oh. And so it's a combination of kids kind of going through that whole program, but there's also a music program there that they can tap into and utilize and be able to express themselves. And so I think what happens is the younger kids, the K through 12, they do the music exploration, and then they can stay there and just keep learning about music in a fun kind of unstructured way. Mm-hmm. But through that experience, I think what happens is they become fascinated by it and want to know more, and so they ask those questions. Yeah.
So it's an organic thing. You just know it's going to happen, and it's just going to look a little different with each child, with each kid.
Yeah, we're just trying to nurture that interest depending on what they let us or what they let us know.
That is great.
Yeah.
So I know you're just starting up. Are you in one school or not really in a school? They come to a certain location, or how does that work?
Great question. So the model that we have right now for the Turner Foundation is we actually have 2 apartment complexes that we operate in, and each one has a community learning center, and I think has about 60 units at each one. So it's geared, it's to serve low-income families, and we specifically serve those families' youth. And so the cool thing about this model is they come to the center, they go for programming after school, and then they can just walk home right after we're done. It's really easy for the parents, they don't have to worry about picking up their kids from school. But yeah, everything's really familiar for them. It's a really safe space for them. But that's who we specifically serve.
Okay, so the kids live in kind of 2 different housing areas. Mm-hmm. That happens to also be close to the school they go to. Mm-hmm. And then it also happens to be close to where your studio is, or do you call it a studio?
Yeah, but we have a music studio within our community learning center.
Oh, it's community learning center. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in that community learning center, you have other kinds of things like math and English and music.
Yeah, so they come there for to do their homework, and we assist with that as well. We have like a dance program, an art program, so there's other enrichment programs that we offer, and so they kind of rotate through those different programs. And this is one, I guess, right now, TFMI, Music Imagination Program, is one that's really kind of expanding really just rapidly as far as students really being engaged and wanting to become musicians. Oh. And so we're just doing our best to continue trying to provide a meaningful, rewarding experience for them to grow, just even beyond just being a musician, but just into like a wonderful person and developing those 21st century skills that we need to in order to thrive in this world. Yeah. But it's beautiful because they get to, again, choose it. It's a really organic way of doing it. We're not forcing the kids to become musicians. And yeah, we're just trying to, again, just nurture that interest.
That's cool. So I could see maybe a young person coming there, oh, I need help with my math homework, or I just like to go there because my friends are there, or
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. But then in the process, maybe they get exposed to music and they find out that they like it a lot, and then they want to pursue it more. Maybe that happens.
Yeah, definitely. They can just come in. I mean, and any kind of caliber, wherever they're at in their life, they are more than welcome to let us know what they want from the program. Mm-hmm. And if they want to just go on the field trips, if they want to do the program EQ Vibes, which is geared more towards teens, that's a partnership with AHA. It's a social emotional program where we explore music, and we kind of reflect on that experience and kind of discern between our emotions. What did we feel during that experience? And kind of essentially empower each other through that experience. But it's a really fun way to get acquainted to music, but also learn, or exercise your emotional intelligence. So they can do that too. We just try to provide an array or a spectrum of different ways to express themselves that they feel comfortable doing. But they can let us know what they'd like to do, which is great.
Wow, that's quite unusual. So tell us more about the collaboration you have with AHA or any others.
Yeah, currently the collaboration that we have with AHA, which is a social emotional leading program in Santa Barbara, we decided to figure out a way to implement their curriculum and have it kind of be used in a creative way, in a fun way where we get to exercise those emotions through just kind of like a hands-on experience. And so I kind of act more of a liaison, teaching the kids the instruments, and then their facilitators kind of go through their curriculum, kind of being able to, it's like a guided reflection that they use to help them understand themselves through music.
Oh gosh, that is powerful.
Yeah.
I have not heard of any other program like that.
It's pretty incredible. I wish I had it when I was a kid.
Yes, I bet you do. So you've been, the program and you have been with the program for just a little over 2 years, right? And so what was it that drew you to the idea of doing this?
I've been doing it for, I guess, before being at the Turner Foundation, I was actually at Notes for Notes for almost 6 years.
Yeah.
And I kind of developed my passion for being able to, again, kind of facilitate meaningful, rewarding educational experiences for young people through music. And so through that process, kind of creating, or writing curriculum that I felt was effective and necessary for like holistic growth and be able to help kids build a foundation for later success.
Yeah.
So I think through that, it evolved into what it is today. Now that I'm at the Turner Foundation, that's kind of taken all that experience and honing it down here at the Turner Foundation. It's kind of blossomed into what it is today.
Oh gosh, that is great.
Yeah.
Notes to Notes. I've heard of them. I've talked to some of the people there.
Yeah,
I know that's a great program
fantastic
too.
Organization as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so you're a 501c3 nonprofit, and I can only imagine that you have a need for some financial donations.
Yes. Anything helps. Everything helps. We're trying to make sure we can continue providing these amazing opportunities for the kids, experiences for the kids. Our main thing right now is to develop, continue creating a payroll budget so that we can hire more qualified staff that are wanting to push that mission to really nurture the arts and change the world in a positive way through music. And that's kind of what our goal is at the moment. Is fortunately we've had a lot of support from Sonos, San Barbara Bowl Foundation, DW Drums, TV Shield. Just a lot of really beautiful community support. And right now, from that, we've gotten to a point where it's like, okay, now let's expand and start, getting more people on board so that we can continue doing what we do and what we love to do. So that's kind of
exciting.
That's the need at the moment.
Yeah, I bet more people are going to get on board, and I bet you a lot of people watching this will say, man, I want to be part of that. And they'll go on your website, they'll make a donation, they'll find out how else they can help.
We'd be extremely grateful for that, yes.
Yeah. So tell us more about, maybe some needs that the program has, or some kind of maybe dreams that you have for how it might expand in the future.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is we recently just had an amazing development milestone. We had a grand opening for the Open Air Music Studio. This is Santa Barbara's first Open Air Music Studio. And essentially was a response to COVID-19. During quarantine, we can have kids be in groups and indoors. So we came up with this fun, wild idea where it's like, okay, well, let's just bring the studio outside and find a clever way to have all the gear that we need in order for it to be effective. And so we just recently did that with the help of Sonos and San Barbara Bowl Foundation. They helped pay for the actual build and all the instruments and production gear that we have there. But I think, to answer your question, moving forward, what we'd like to do is kind of recreate that again in a more public way.
Oh.
Right now, like I mentioned earlier, we can only serve the folks that live in the complex that we operate out of. But the goal is to move forward and hopefully find a center where we can create a music center and do more open air music studios and serve more youth. And that's definitely the direction we're moving into. We're just trying to make sure we have a sustainable model that will work on a bigger scale and that will allow us to, again, to just continue serving as many youth as possible and, you know, continue to nurture those interests, tailor ourselves around what it is that they want to do, and have a space for that. So that's kind of the long-term goal. But yeah, I mean, right now we're just happy to you know, enjoy the milestones that we have now. The opening of the Open Air Music Studio has been a really big game changer for us and for our students and for the families that we serve. They get to go there, record, be together, you know, in the same space. You know, obviously there's that having to wear the mask and continue to being safe, but it's nicer and it feels more, you know, safer as far as being outdoors and tight in a small room.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they'll end up at the bowl. They could get up there on the stage and play there. That'd be fun.
At the bowl or Libero or any of these amazing venues that we have in Santa Barbara.
Oh gosh, and I have a feeling you're going to be taking them there.
That's the goal. Yes.
Oh gosh. So now let's go back to when you were talking about how you help them learn to create music as a team. So have there been any challenges with getting them to work as a team?
To work as a team, I think the biggest challenge is even just for grown adults is really learning how to intentionally listen. Right. So it's like, okay, how can I listen to what's happening around me and be a part of that conversation in an effective way that's going to be you know, complementary to what's happening in this space. And you know, I think we're all trying to figure out how to navigate that world. As I think right now our goal is to really teach and facilitate how to do that. So right now there's a lot of listening happening, and I feel like that's really what allows them to be a really tight team. Is can you respond to what this person's saying musically? And I think that's a big portion as far as like their development as musicians and just as people. So that's what we really focus on that a lot of the time.
David, you are so wise. I mean, the whole idea of developing the skill of listening and the habit of listening to others is so important. And frankly, I think a lot of people need to learn that. And so the fact that you're teaching these kids that and using music as the venue, the tool, is just astounding.
It's a lot of fun, yeah. I mean, the kids, the cool thing about doing it through music and any other art form as well is they don't have to focus on like these 21st century skills that we want them to learn in a really explicit way. They become just innate through the experience of having fun. And as they continue to grow, you know, they just adopt those skills naturally, and that's really what's happening, is just trying to allow them to really understand those tools, you know, and being able to harness them in a really effective way.
Wow. What's the average age of the child that comes to you?
The average age, I mean, it's a group, it's kind of a spectrum between 5 and 18.
Oh,
so
gosh.
It's pretty wide. So we have, I mean, programs that are more geared towards K through 12 and then a teen program. Yeah, we just try to do our best to make it age appropriate, but in a way that can be digestible for all ages. It's a tough thing to do.
I would think so.
It's really, it's interesting to write that curriculum, but because that's the environment, we kind of have to cater to that. So that's kind of, but yeah, that's the age group though.
Gosh. So we have about a minute left. Is there anything else you'd like for the audience to know about the music programs at the Turner Foundation?
Yeah, I think just know that we're here in Santa Barbara. We're planning on being here and looking forward to serve as many people as we can. And if anyone has any interest in joining our mission and being a part of it, please reach out to us, and we'd love to meet you and get you involved.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for your good work with all of these young people and for changing the world through music.
Thank you
and
so
for
much,
being with
Cynder.
us today.
So, yeah, it's been a blessing being here. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.